Greetings, citizens of planet Earth. Welcome back to the Mystery Dome. Today we will be talking about daylight savings time. Now, this doesn't seem like a topic that we would talk about on this channel, since this is mostly a channel that delves into topics related to science that are unknown and foreign. But we do know a lot about daylight savings time, and I still find it quite interesting. Now, this is going to be a little divergent from a lot of my other videos, because my other videos have been purely science-based. This one is both scientific and political, meaning it is a controversial, it probably will end up being a controversial video. So, daylight savings time is simply when you turn your clocks an hour ahead in the springtime. Everybody knows what that is. And when you switch back to standard time, you set the clock an hour behind in the fall. And yeah, we all know what that is about. So it's not like an unknown thing. But the reason I make this video is that I want to explain why daylight savings is so harmful. As you know, that means turning a clock ahead will cause one of the days of the year to be 23 hours long. And that day is always a Sunday. And we're already off on a bad foot because that takes away 1 hour from the weekend, meaning it's not a 48-hour weekend, or maybe a little more than 48 hours if you include the afternoon and evening of Friday as the weekend. But it shortens it by an hour. It shortens it by an hour, and that's already a bad start. And also the fact that you don't get used to it by the time you start school or work again. On the Monday afterward, you still feel like you're going to school or work an hour early, and it just feels really off. And there's no reason for that. I mean, we could just have year-round standard time. We could just not make people uncomfortable and force them to readapt to a new time zone every few months. I mean, that's the biggest argument that I have against daylight savings time. Another big one is the fact that in standard time, the sun sets earlier and rises earlier. And that makes waking up easier and going to bed easier. Because if the sun is up earlier in the day, getting up in the morning isn't hard. And also, when it's dark at night, when it's way darker during the PM hours, you slowly settle in from when it becomes night, and when you sleep, you slowly settle in. Instead of in the springtime where you go to bed and it's still bright outside. That's just unnatural. It needs to be dark, and with year-round standard time, that will be the case. It will be dark for a lot of that PM period, and mainly that's my argument against standard time, or against daylight time. So the summary is just daylight savings time robs us of an hour of weekend. It causes us to fall off schedule, and it makes the day schedule across pretty much the entire year a lot worse. So that pretty much finishes it, except for the fact that what are we going to do about it? And I'm planning on not shifting my clock forward, as well as my family doing the same thing. And I encourage all of you watching this video to also not move your clocks ahead in the spring. Remain on standard time and do not switch your schedule to daylight time. If you go to work from 8 to 5, say, just go in from what would now be 7 to 4, I suppose. Just shift your schedules a little bit. Make sure that you point out these arguments, as well as any arguments you have yourself that you have come up with against daylight time, to convince others to join our side. And please make sure to not listen to the things that the daylight timers tell us. We must stop the tyranny of daylight savings time. And that is the ultimate purpose of this video, and I hope you share this. Please, I'm asking of you, the citizens of planet Earth, do not fail me. I will see you in the next video on another episode of the Mystery Dome.